Assalamu alaikum everyone, hope you all are doing great and well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to the video. Welcome back to the lecture. So in today's lecture, we are gonna be again doing something regarding English, which is gonna be so exciting. And if you're new on my YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, press the bell icon to get a notification of my each and every video. If you have any question or English, Urdu, math, or science, you can comment on any of my video. I'll go to that as soon as possible. So, in today's lecture, we're going to be doing something exciting. So, let's begin. Assalamu alaikum. Today, we're going to be doing argumentative paragraph. So, an argumentative paragraph, what is it and how we can write it? What are the main things of it, or what type of words we can use in it? Today, I'm going to be telling you all the things regarding argumentative paragraph. So, let's begin. What is an argumentative paragraph? So by its name, without discussing anything written over here, just look at its name, like it is argumentative. So it means argumentative basically means it is an argue, it's related to something regarding to argument or argue. So let's begin. An argumentative paragraph represents a specific viewpoint or a claim on a topic and supports it with logical reasoning, facts, examples, or research, which is evidence to convince the reader, often including a topic sentence, supporting details, and a concluding sentence that wrap up the argument. So, this is basically the main definition of argumentative paragraph. It is a type of writing, or it is a paragraph which basically represents our point of view, okay, a claim, a point of view that each person has, okay, and they give their own point of view, okay, which uses supports, like we have to support it with logical reasoning, we have to write the logical reasons, we have to give the evidences, like have we seen that thing in our daily life? So it's type of a paragraph, okay, where we basically we have logical reasonings, we're having facts and something that's very real, like okay, now it contains some things like topic sentence, it contains supporting details, like supporting details in the sense of argument 1, argument 2 with evidences, and counter argument which is about the people, and then in result of that something we're not agreeing with the counter argument, we have to write one sentence of it and then conclusion, okay. So it focuses on the point, on one point per paragraph, and uses evidence-based support rather than just emotional appeal to prove its stance, distinguishing itself from truly persuasive writing. Okay, an argumentative paragraph presents a point of view and provides evidence from the point of view taken. An argument is an opinion supported by facts. An opinion is also referred to as claim, and facts are also referred as an evidence. The claim clearly states a stance on a topic or issue. Now let's have an example here, okay. So first of all, we're having school uniforms, okay. Let's take this argumentative paragraph. Even though it's not according to the rules that I'm going to be sharing with you later on, but still it is an argumentative paragraph. Some people say school uniforms limit students' freedom, but I believe they are a good idea because they create equality among students and reduce bullying based on clothes. When all students wear the same attire, it is harder to signal out individuals based on economic status or brand names, and this can foster a more inclusive environment where students focus on learning instead of fashion. So likewise, we're having an example of working from home. Working from home is more effective than working in a traditional office because it leads to increased productivity and significant cost savings for both employees and employers. Remote workers can eliminate their commute time, which is often a source of stress and lost productivity, and they have the autonomy to structure their workday around their most productive hours. Furthermore, companies can save on office space and utilities, while employees save money on gas, vehicle maintenance, and professional attire. making remote work a more economically efficient model. Okay, and then the third example is of internet in education. While some worry about negative effects of the internet on education, its benefits as a tool for learning are far greater. The internet provides students and educators with an unparalleled and accessible source of information, exposing them to a wider range of perspectives than a traditional classroom can offer. Additionally, the flexibility of online learning environments allows for more education to be tailored into individual needs and spaces, making it a more effective and dynamic way to learn for many students. Now, proper pattern of writing it. Okay, first we need to have a topic sentence which is going to be of one single statement, one single catchy statement that can vary. Argument one with evidence. We're going to have argument one and we're going to have an evidence of it in one sentence. We have to write the argument with its evidence. Argument two with evidence. Likewise, we have to write another sentence of argument two with one sentence with its evidence. Then we are going to write counter argument, people's point of view. It is a people's point of view, what people think. So people thinking is going to be against ours, okay? And then your view on that. Now on people's view of thinking, we have to prove it wrong and have to give evidence why we think it is wrong. Then conclusion. Got it? This is how we're going to write. In total, we have to write 6 sentences, and this is how we have to write, okay? Now, like here we're having, should mobile phones be allowed in schools? So mobile phones should be allowed in schools because they have been powerful learning tools in today's world. They help students quickly search for reliable information, allowing them to understand lessons more deeply and become independent learners. In addition, phones provide helpful features such as dictionaries, calculators, reading apps, and educational videos, all of which makes classroom learning more interactive and enjoyable. On the other hand, some people believe that mobile phones only distract students and encourage them to waste time. However, I strongly disagree because teaching students responsible and purposeful use of technology can transform phones into a distraction into a meaningful learning resource. Therefore, with proper rules and guidance, mobile phones should not only be allowed in schools but also used to make education smarter, faster, and more engaging for every student. Now, this is a perfect paragraph that we can write, okay? Because here in the topic sentence everything is properly stated. Like here in the topic sentence we have to tell whether we agree with it or disagree, whether we are for or against it. Then in second sentence you have to write an argument with reason, which is stated here. In the third sentence you have to write an argument with evidence that we have write. And in the fourth sentence we have to write people point of view. In the fifth sentence we have to prove the people wrong. In the sixth sentence we have to do conclusion, which is perfectly done here. Let's look at this one more example. Should homework be reduced? So homework should be reduced in schools because students already spent long hours in class and need time to relax and recharge. Now this is a perfect topic sentence which is proving and which is clearly showing that homework should be reduced. We are going for the topic. Now, when students receive less homework, they can focus better and actually understand the material instead of rushing through assignments just to finish them. Now, this is the reason. This is the argument one with reason. Argument two with reason is research also shows that too much homework causes stress, reduces sleep, and leaves little time for hobbies and family, which is more important for health development. This is the second argument with evidence. And on the other hand, some people believe that large amount of homeworks make the students more disciplined and hardworking. Now this is the people's point of view, and now how we are going to prove them wrong. This is how. However, some people I strongly disagree because real discipline comes from balanced routines, not from overwhelming children with tasks that exhausts them mentally and emotionally. Therefore, reducing homework allows students to learn more effectively, stay mentally healthy, and enjoy a more meaningful and productive school life. Now, conclusion as well. So, this is also a perfect one. Should sports be made compulsory in schools? So, sports should be made compulsory in schools because they play a powerful role in building both physical and mental strength in students. Regular participation in sports keeps children active, improves fitness, and reduces the risk of health problems that are increasing among young people today. Sports also teach essential life skills such as teamwork, leadership, patience, and confidence, qualities that cannot be learned from textbook alone. On the other hand, some people believe that compulsory sports should take away valuable time from the academics and put extra pressure on students. However, I strongly disagree because research shows that students who stay physically active perform better in academics due to improved focus, energy, and mood. Therefore, making sports compulsory helps students grow into healthier, more disciplined, and well balanced individuals who are ready to face real life challenges. This is also a perfect one. Should school start later in morning? So should school start later in morning? School should be started later in morning because most students do not get enough sleep, which affects their health and learning. When schools begin a bit later, students come to class more awake, more energetic, and ready to absorb new information, which leads to greater academic performance. Students also show that teenagers' natural sleep cycles make it difficult for them to wake up very early, meaning a later start time would support their physical and emotional well-being. On the other hand, some people believe that starting school later will disturb schedules for parents and shorten the time for after school activities. However, I strongly disagree because the long-term benefits of healthier, well-rested students are far more important than small adjustments in daily routines. Therefore, school should move to a later start time so students can learn better, stay healthier, and enjoy a more positive and productive school day. This is also a perfect one. Should social media have age limits? Okay. Social media should have strict age limits because young children are often not mature enough to handle the pressure, comparison, and negativity that exists online. Many studies show that early exposure or to social media can affect mental health by increasing anxiety, lowering self-esteem, and creating unrealistic expectations about life. In addition, age limits helps protect children from online dangers such as cyberbullying, scams, and inappropriate content that may not know how to deal with. On the other hand, some people believe social media teaches children moral skills and help them stay connected with friends. However, I strongly disagree because real communication and emotional development should happen in safe, real life environments, not in the places that expose young minds to harmful influences. Therefore, proper age restrictions are necessary to protect children and ensure that they experience social media only when they are ready for its challenges. Should animals be kept in zoos? Animals should not be kept in zoos because living in cages take them away from freedom and prevents them from experiencing the natural environment they are meant to live in. Many studies show that while animals in captivity often develop stress, frustration, and unnatural behaviors because they cannot hunt, explore, or move freely as they would in the wild. Zoos also limit animals to artificial habitat that can never match the richness, space, and complexity of their real homes. On the other hand, some people believe that rules protect endangered species and help them educate the public. However, I strongly disagree because the true protection comes from preserving natural habitat and supporting wildlife conservation efforts, not locking animals behind bars for entertainment. Therefore, animals deserve to live freely in the natural world, and we should focus on saving their habitat rather than keeping them in zoos. This is also a perfect one. Should plastic bags be banned? Plastic bags should be banned because they are one of the biggest contributors to pollution and environmental damage across the world. These bags take hundreds of years to decompose, and during that long time, they harm oceans, animals, rivers, and even the soil we depend on for food. Wildlife often makes mistakes plastic for food and gets trapped in it, leading to painful injuries or even death, which shows how dangerous these bags really are. On the other hand, some people believe plastic bags are convenient and make carrying groceries easier. However, I strongly disagree because reusable clothes or paper clothes are just convenient and far more environmental friendly, helping us protect our planet instead of harming it. Therefore, banning plastic bags is a necessary step if we want cleaner cities, safer wildlife, and a healthier environment for future generations. Okay, should junk food be limited in restaurants and stores? Junk food should be limited in restaurants and stores because its high sugar, salt, and fat content leads to serious health problems that are becoming increasingly common in people all ages. When junk food is easily available everywhere, people tend to choose it out of convenience, even though it lacks the nutrients our body needs to stay strong and energetic. Many studies show that regular consumption of junk food increase the risk of obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, which make it a danger not just to individuals but to public health. On the other hand, some people believe that everyone should have the freedom to eat whatever they want without restrictions. However, I strongly disagree because freedom should not come at the cost of long restrictions. How in the cost of long-term health, and simple limits on junk food's availability can encourage people to make healthier choices. Therefore, reducing the presence of junk food in shops and restaurants is an important step towards building healthier communities and promoting better lifestyles. Okay, should people switch to electric cars? People should switch to electric cars because they produce far less pollution than traditional gasoline vehicles and help reduce the harmful emissions that damage our atmosphere. Electric cars run quietly and smoothly, offering a cleaner and more modern way of traveling while protecting the environment from toxic fumes. In many countries, renewable energy while sources like solar and wind power are being used to charge electric cars, making them even more eco-friendly and sustainable. On the other hand, some people believe that electric cars are too expensive and inconvenient because they require charging stations. However, I strongly disagree because the cost of electric cars is slowly decreasing and changing charging stations are becoming more common every year, making the switch easier than ever. Therefore, choosing electric cars is a smart and responsible decision that benefits both the planet and future generations. So these were all the argumentative paragraphs on different topics, different serious and enjoyable topics, and I hope so you came to know what basically an argumentative paragraph looks like and how we can come across it. So thank you so much for taking my today's lecture. Bye bye, take care, and Allah Hafiz. See you in the next lecture.